At the time of writing this report, the committee established that
the afternoon session of Parliament was meant to take a final decision on the report of the Select Committee of Parliament on the alleged mismanagement at the National Social Security Fund. However, the decision was deferred to Thursday in the hope the Gender Minister Betty Amongi will attend the plenary and be able to defend herself.
We can actually get the answer of today. Look at what has been mentioned about her, and then she will be given a chance to respond on Thursday. And based on that, and since you say it seals the debate, I now adjourn the House to Thursday at 2.
The debate of Parliament was deferred last week as the Finance Minister Matia Kasaija was absent from the House. Both ministers were not sure today. However, Kasaija delegated the Investment State Minister Evelyn Anite to read his speech in which he stood by the committee in finding Amongi's request for 6 billion shillings from the fund irregular. The report recommended that Amongi resigns in public interest.
The request for the 6 billion by my colleague, Honorable Betty Amongi, is irregular. For the 10 years that NSSF was directly supervised by the Minister of Finance, Planning and Economic Development, this scenario did not occur. It will not occur even when this is returned to the Minister of Finance, Planning and Economic Development.
If there is a minister who is abusing her powers or his powers, the UPC disassociates ourselves from that.
I'm not one of those who want to hang Minister Amongi. Although she tried all her level best to access 6 billion outside the requirements, she did not succeed.
Kasaija also strongly agrees that the appointment of the Managing Director and the Deputy Managing Director of the fund should revert to his Finance Ministry. However, he disagreed with the findings of the committee that the payment of 630 million shillings to 2 former board members who resigned voluntarily was wasteful.
Ministry of Finance, while it seeks to take control of the investment decisions, the ministry should also help us. There are so many bad investment decisions that took place under the watch of Ministry of Finance. And we can mention them here, whether you talk about the pension towers, the variations that are therein, whether you talk about the Lubawa estate, the amount of money, it is a bad investment decision. The Ministry of Finance should not just come and say, we want to be in charge of this, but what is it that they are doing to enable members get money?
I could recommend, and my proposal is that if a certain minister has made an error, we don't have to change the law. Let's stand by what we did here and let the law remain. Another one will be able to move on.
3 serving MPs, but who had previously served as the NSSF board members, were allowed to make a statement to the House in their defense. The trio, Agnes Kunuhira, Christopher Wirike and Stephen Mugole, like the rest of the 2011 board, irregularly benefited from a 10% remittance from the fund towards their personal savings with the fund. They contended that they were never granted an opportunity by the committee to be heard.
Why did you go to the committee as the workers' representative? They called me for another issue. They never asked any question. He's here. If he asked me anything to do with that matter.
This generated deadlock with a section of MPs calling for the particular recommendation to be expunged.
A group of our colleagues saying there was no fair hearing because we were not heard. If we proceed without resolving that issue, it is going to continue coming back to haunt us.
The House is expected to make the final decision on Thursday. Jackson Onyango reporting for NTV at Parliament.